Jamaica's parliamentary opposition is calling foul over House Speaker MARISA Philibert's declaration that a division in voting on a motion, which requires each member to record their votes individually, is at her discretion. Philibert also asserted that a division will only be allowed if a majority cannot be determined via voice vote.
Read what it says. Yeah. You can, if there is a preponderance of A's, there is nothing to challenge. Because if we are in a house where I've asked the question and you hear A's and there are so many and you have 6, there is a preponderance of A's there.
Madam Speaker,
it is not what I want us to recognize, that it is not to be disruptive.
However, Mark Golding, leader of the opposition, rebutted Speaker Philibert by referring to the long-standing practice in the Jamaican Parliament of having divisions proceed as a matter of course after a member of Parliament calls for a divide in the vote.
I must confess, since I've been in Parliament, coming to the Senate in 2007 to date, I have never heard the view that you have put forward this morning in relation to a divide. There is a practice in the Parliament of Jamaica that where a matter is being put by the Speaker or the Chairman to a vote, any member can call for a divide. And the effect of that call is that a roll call is then taken to identify the individual votes of each member. And each member can either say yes or no, or can abstain. It is then tallied by the clerk, and the result is read. That is the practice.
The Great Divide debate came up because during the previous day's parliamentary proceedings, the Speaker was presented with a request for a divide, which she did allow over the objections of the government members of Parliament. Golding argued that this was the right call in keeping with years of parliamentary tradition and called on Speaker Philibert to continue the precedent. However, the Speaker demurred.
I do agree with you that it has been the practice since you have been here and probably before, but the practice doesn't make it correct. And I went back yesterday and I do agree with you. The language is clear. It says, but any member may challenge the opinion of the chair. Now, if the opinion of the chair is that there is a preponderance of A's, what is the purpose of challenging?
Not just in Jamaica, but in parliaments around the region, divisions have been used not only as a tool to ascertain the true majority of the ayes or nays on any particular motion, but also as tools of accountability and to some extent political strategy to force government MPs to go on record with their support of a controversial or unpopular piece of legislation. As in Jamaica, parliaments across the Caribbean usually allow divisions to proceed as a matter of course, one small tool for legislatively weak oppositions. However, the standing orders of the House of Assembly of Jamaica and other Caribbean countries, as well as the foundational document on parliamentary procedure, Erskine May Parliamentary Practice, do not make allowance for this usage of a call for division. All of the parliamentary standing orders consortium reporters have been able to scan only make provision for a division to be called when there is uncertainty over whether the majority of the voice vote was a yes or a no. And this is the ground on which Speaker Philibert rests her argument.
The whole purpose of asking those in favor, those against, is to obtain for the purpose of the House what the majority position is. So that if you have a case where the House has a House where it could be either A or nay, and you hear a chorus of A's and a chorus of nays, and I say A, but you know it could go the other way, then you call for the divide. But it was very clear to me yesterday that with the numbers you had there and the A's that came over there, there was nothing to challenge.
Does this determination from the Speaker set a new precedent where already weak opposition parliamentarians are further weakened? Or is this just the chair of House proceedings establishing clarity and boundaries around the forum over which she decides? perhaps it is all just a matter of perspective.